first I want to address a little bit about some keyword research. So we're going to jump into content. We're going to talk a little bit about how we frame our home pages, some suggestions and best practices that I have seen. But before we get into content on our home pages and back pages or whatever we want to do, first I want to talk about keyword research and how to explore and find keywords is kind of the first step of that. So this is a best practices thing. This is a little bit subjective. I would encourage you to try a bunch of different things, see what works best for you. I'm going to show you what I do personally to help me find keywords, but then also how to help my site rank for the right keywords that I'm intentionally, trying to rank for. And good ranking based off of good keywords starts with good exploration. So if we can find the right keywords that we want to use, that we want to base our content off of, that's laying a really solid foundation for us to then be able to go forward and be able to write really great content to be able to rank our websites for the keywords that people are actually searching for. So I'm going to show you a website software that I use called Ahrefs. Ahrefs is what a lot of people call it. So Ahrefs, what I appreciate about Ahrefs is this. I think it does a really great job in its Keywords Explorer tool to not only show you what are people searching for, but then also give you some suggestions of other keywords out there that you could also include in your content that might be getting searches as well, right? Because the entire basis of this is what are people searching for, and how can I write website content based off of what people are searching for, and therefore turn around and rank for what those people are actually searching for, right? So it's all based off of first answering the question, what are people looking for? What are people individually Googling? So all that to say, I'm going to start with Ahrefs and I'm going to show you this Keywords Explorer tool. So I've showed you this example of doing lead generation for mold removal in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's kind of an example I use in several of these videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type in mold removal. Actually, no, I'm going to start just saying mold. Mold, Indianapolis. I'm curious how many people are searching for the phrase mold, Indianapolis with other words thrown in there. Now, the reason I add this localized word of Indianapolis is because when I search for things, I will always search not just mold removal on Google. I'll search mold removal and then my city of where I'm at that time. You'll see a lot of suggestions that prove that that's what people search for. So that location, the geolocation, the smaller tail stuff with the actual individual localized words, it's kind of debated if Google actually picks up on that or not. I like to actually use all of those in my content using the word Indianapolis if it's an Indianapolis website, matching phrasing, accordingly based off of what the keyword says. So I'm going to go ahead and search this. So the way I use this is, let me just slide this over. Obviously, there's not a lot of searches just for the phrase mold Indianapolis. So I'm going to go over here to matching terms. Now, matching terms is going to pull out different phrases that have both of these words in it. Okay, so this is where you're going to get to the more localized keywords, and this is where our gold mine is going to sit, right? So we see that the number one search volume, this is monthly searches, is 200 search volumes for the phrase mold remediation Indianapolis. Okay, so that's really good. So we want to go ahead and identify that. Mold removal Indianapolis, that's good as well. Mold testing, and this is where you really want to understand your content and understand who is on the other end of the call when your website gets this. A lot of my mold removal companies don't want testing calls. If you know anything about mold, it's a conflict of interest for the removal or remediation company, also due to the test of mold. So those are kind of usually separate buyers. So a lot of times I won't include for this niche specifically testing or inspection. Okay, so I'm just going to go for right now mold removal. Here's another remediation with the IN on the end. Do that one there. Do this one here. I want cost. I want this one. I want this one. So you can go down as far as you want. I generally don't like to go down under 10. Those keywords there just aren't very prevalent, right? Obviously, your number one here being mold remediation Indianapolis with 200 searches. So these are the keywords now that we've identified. If you add all of these up, this will show you the highest volume of all of these keywords. And now we know our most valuable keyword is this phrase, mold remediation Indianapolis. When we're writing our content, we're writing our headers or alt text, we want to make sure that this phrase is prominent so that it gets scraped by Google. Okay? So that is, in a nutshell, how I do keyword research. Whether you're a roofer in Dallas, a mold remediation company in Indianapolis, a fencing company in Albany, it's kind of the same exact principle. What are people searching for? How can I find other keywords that are very similar that also have the same amount of traction? And then how can I write my content based off of what people are searching for? So that's it for keywords. we'll take this information, and next we'll tie it into how to write good content based off this information.